Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lori Joy, for that nice prayer. And so as we move into a little bit of different format tonight, as we present a workshop in Ewelina, Coptic teacher Ewelina Konyndyk, and Universal Dance leader Jane Skye plays the music, and we explore dances of universal peace. And Ewelina's contributions to the organization are wonderful. She's been a lot of the marketing part of our fall conference and putting programs together, and I've been seeing Facebook Live stuff pop up recently on our Facebook page with Mary McGuire, which has been wonderful, and seeing different up-to-date additions to the organization, and to reach out for new messages with you, and learning and teaching to help us all grow. It's very appreciated what she's contributing, and tonight's contribution is a gift as well. The dances of universal peace are a spiritual practice in motion, drawing on the sacred phrases, scripture, and poetry of the many spiritual traditions of earth. The dances blend chant, live music, and evocative movement into a living experience of unity, peace, and integration. So we welcome that. I don't think you're going to be sitting too long tonight, so let's please welcome Ewelina Konyndyk and Jane Skye tonight. Thank you. All right. Clear some space.
Good evening. I'm so excited to see all of you here. I'm so excited about this. Because I've been really wanting dances of universal peace in this place for a long time. So, okay. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about them before we start dancing. The reason why we have this workshop, workshop format introduced tonight is because we want for you to have an experience and to be more involved rather than, you will have 3 weeks out of the month to sit, actually 2, that's right, because we have new moon service, or ceremony. So 2 are still remaining traditional. You're just going to go about it the typical way, right, where you just sit and listen. But the 2 other ones will be, the additional, the workshop that's starting today, the very first one. I'm very, very excited about this. So the reason why I thought the dances of universal peace, of course, for once, I love them. And you will see me giddy up and smiling the whole time because I absolutely love them. But the reason why I thought the dances of universal peace would be so perfect for this space is because they, just like our Coptic fellowship, embrace all the religious traditions. And they all recognize them as an expression of the same divine essence. So it's a perfect match. Their purpose, and keep this in mind as we're dancing, is to invoke an embodied sense of unity, presence, and compassion. Their purpose is also to help us connect with that spiritual essence within ourselves. So let me tell you a little bit where they came from. They were first introduced in 1960 by Sufi teacher and Zen master Samuel Lewis, who was also a mystic, peace activist, and scientist, and truly a Renaissance man. He traveled a lot throughout his life, and especially in 1950s, he spent a lot of time in Asia, studying with different teachers. So the dances of peace are in many ways summation of his life experience in spiritual attainment. After coming back from his travels, he offered Sufi teachings in San Francisco Bay Area. In the 1960s, to all the young people, all the hippies, because there was no one else doing it. There was all different kinds of teachings being introduced and offered, but there was no Sufi teachings offered at the time. So he would offer a full week of program, Dharma talks, dance classes, walks in the astrological yoga and Sufi gathas. And he had a growing group of disciples in that area, in the Bay area. And so from all of this very rich life experience, all the travels and different studies, different influences, he created the Dance of Universal Peace. And he created them as a dynamic method of promoting peace through arts. So from the early days, right, of Dances of Universal Peace, from the 1960s, where he had his base group was about 50 people. The collection of dances has grown, and now we have over 500 different events, different dances happening in 500 different locations, and probably even more by now. I was pulling this information off their website, but I'm trusting that because this is such an amazing practice, as you will experience today, and because it is so much needed in our world, a lot of people are drawn to it, and that makes it organically grown. So all of the dances celebrate sacred heart of all of the religions. Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the Aramaic, Native American, Native Middle Eastern, Celtic, Native African, and goddess traditions. Now his work continues through the different teachers. He has died in 1971, so he is now deceased, but his work continues through different teachers of Dances of Universal Peace International Network. And our wonderful Jane, who will be teaching us tonight, is one of the teachers. Belongs to this network. So how is this all going to work? We will form a circle, join hands, and Jane, our dance leader, will teach us the sacred phrase, melody, and the move. Most dances are only 4 lines long. So, and they're repeated many, many times. That's why I don't have to worry about not remembering the lyrics, because they're very quick and easy to learn. And as we're dancing, the whole point is to focus on connecting and also on the truth that's contained within that sacred phrase that we're singing. You do not have to have any dance experience, none. You don't have to have any musical experience. Everyone is welcome to join in. And it's really all about participation and not about presentation, okay? And if there's some lyrics where a lot of the times they'll be inspired by a different tradition, so you might have lyrics that are in Russian actually, or in Spanish, or maybe in in a different language, okay? You don't have to worry so much about pronunciation. You're supposed to have a good time. And you do not need to have a special attire. You don't need to have a partner for this. I just ask that you have an open mind and an open heart, and let your inner child come out and giggle, okay? just enjoy it. So what's going to happen is we're going to need this area where you're sitting. We're going to need this for the dances. So I would like to ask you to move the chairs, help us move the chairs into this area, and then once we're done moving them, let's stand together in a circle and hold hands. Yes, Michael?
Can we just push them back?
All over. No, let's just move them this way, because we have a lot of us here, so let's just, if you don't mind, thank you.
Good. There.
Yes.
70.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
76 I got there. So we're still going strong.
Did you have a chance to participate?
Yes,
There you are. Your camera's on the
John, what time do we have to have?
Yeah, I'm good.
5 minutes, you said, right? So, 7. Is it okay if it goes I'll be taking all of that.
How you doing? Nice to see ya. I gotta shoot you.
Let's make a show.
Have you done this before? You've done this before. Oh, yeah. I know. You got to hear her.
Well, no, in the center.
It's been forever.
Okay, awesome. Wow, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Ewelina, for inviting me.
Do we hold hands?
And yeah, hold hands, that's perfect. And Ewelina did such a wonderful job of introduction. And of course, we're on the web. Dances of Universal Peace. There's an international page and a North American page, so you can read up anything more that you want. And then there's links to more information, of course. So that's all I'm going to do as far as the dances. So the very first dance we're going to do is from the Hawaiian tradition. And it talks about honoring and taking care of Mother Earth. That's what it's all about. Sacred land. We call it the sacred land. And I'm going to play it for you first. Sing with me if you know it. So I'm just going to go over those words with you a little bit. So in the Hawaiian language, it's Emalama, Eka Heao. Emalama, Eka Heao. And then they just add one more word in the next line. Emalama Pono Eka Heao.
Emalama Pono Eka Heao.
Let me say, That's so be it. So, Emalama Eka Heao is saying, let us take good care of this sacred land. Emalama Pono is in a good and righteous way. And so the movements sort of mimic this, the meaning of this dance. But let's sing it another couple times through before we begin. Oh, and then the English is earth and sky.
Earth and sky.
Sea and stone.
Sea and stone.
Earth and sky, sea and stone, hold this land in sacredness.
Hold this land in sacredness.
Eka
think we're ready.
So it's the beginning part, when we're singing the Hawaiian, we're going to be like we know we're surrounded by prana, by the sacred cosmic energies. And it's like we're kind of combining that with the hula movement too. And we're just kind of bringing that energy, kind of caressing that energy and just feeling it. So we're singing, Hey Malama Kahea, kind of spreading it like it's all over the whole beautiful energy.
Spread it on the floor.
Hey Malama Kahea. And then we add this part. Hey Malama Pono. So that's the same idea like Tai Chi and Qigong when they talk about that energy being centered right here. Hey Malama Pono Kahea. And then this is the affirmation. Hey. And then the English part is, earth and sky, sea and stone. And then hold this line in sacredness. We're just holding hands.
Okay.
And then we're going to move to the right, just a walk. You don't have to, nothing fancy, just hold right. And sacredness.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could make two circles too. That's possible.
What's it called? A vine step or something?
Well, no, we're not doing anything fancy. There are a lot of fancy walks in this, but not
Let's
one right
try
now.
this one without
I'm
the two
already
circles. If we are uncomfortable, maybe we can break it down.
Do you think it's comfortable in one?
I think
Okay.
this one, let's just do it.
All right, so let's try it. And watch Ewelina, and Deb, this is Ewelina, and this is my friend Deb over here. So they know the movements. And so everybody's kind of got the idea, right? We're just kind of, and then we're blessing the earth. And then, E Malama Pono. Hey. So it kind of sings itself, like all the dances do. So we can kind of imagine also sending these thoughts and prayers out into the world. We call these body prayers, actually. We have that little water bottle right there.
Should we open the door a little bit? Would you like extra air?
I just need to.
Yes, a little bit.
Thank you. From Hawaii. Hawaii, Michelle.
Well, we're going to move on. Now we're going to sing a song that honors the Buddhist tradition. And this dance is going to be a partner dance, which I'm jumping ahead kind of quickly because I know you're all going to catch on to this. So typically we don't go into partner dances right away, but we're short on time. And partner dances bring in a whole different element to the dances of universal peace, a whole different way of experiencing that community and that connection. So I'll get to that a little bit later. First, I'll just play it for you. Sing it with me if you know it. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya So, I don't know if any of you have study Buddhism, but there are several different names for the Buddha and different aspects of the Buddha. And this name, Onamo Amitabhaya, that's saying the beloved Amitabhaya. And Amitabhaya is the Buddha of light and the Buddha of compassion, which probably all the Buddhas are, but this one in particular is thought of in that way. So let's try that word. Amitabhaya. 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 Om Namo Amitabhaya.
Om Namo Amitabhaya.
It's kind of a mouthful, I know, but it kind of flows when you're singing it. And then the next part, we're talking about the three jewels of Buddhism. So we're talking about the Buddhaya, the teacher, Buddhaya, Dharmaya, teaching, Sanghaya, and that's the community. So Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, we're just adding the ya onto the end. So Buddhaya, Dharmaya, Sanghaya. And then we're just going to sing Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya.
Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo
Amitabhaya. So those are all the words that you have to learn. And so let's try singing it. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya demonstrate it for you a moment here in the center. And sing with us, so you get to practice it one more time while we're demonstrating. So we're going to choose our partners in a minute. So I'm going to be, we're standing in the circle, and she's going to be going around the circle this way, and I'm going around the circle that way. And we progress to our next partner. So, but when we begin, we're facing the center. Well, we know each other, we're partners. And you can mimic the movements because they're pretty easy to follow. So this, the beginning part is we're creating a halo of light around ourselves. And it's like the Buddha is sitting at the very top knot up there, like you've seen pictures of like Ewelina's got her hair today. You've seen pictures of the monks wearing their hair like that. And so it'd be Buddha-ya and then Dharma-ya at the throat for the teaching, and then Sangha-ya at the heart for the community. So, but let's pretend we're facing the center. We don't want to confuse anybody. So, because we're facing the same way. So you can mimic the movements with us until we start the partner part. Then please just watch. Otherwise, it'll just get mixed up. So. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Now we're going to repeat the exact thing facing each other. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Now we're going to make angel wings and trade places. Om Namo, Om Namo, and then turn in place. Om Namo Amitabhaya. Now we're going to walk towards the center again, bringing in this blessing of light. Om Namo, Om Namo, and blessing ourselves. Om Namo Amitabhaya. So my next partner's here. Her next partner's on the other side of her. And that's how the progression works. So get back in your circle there, Ewelina. Thank you. And everybody, just, this is how we do it in the peace dances. And it works out always. So just turn and face a partner. And if you don't have a partner, raise your hand. So just turn and face a partner. If you don't end up with a partner, just raise your hand. Okay. Are you going to just watch on? Just bring your chair right. Bring your chairs right up here so you can see. All right. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck way back here. Okay. Maybe somebody can give them my hand, bring in a couple chairs up so they can see. So maybe my drummer can drum again for me. Sure. Then, so Matthew can. Nathan, your partner. Yeah, Nathan. Then you can get a partner here. And she can drum for me. That's fine. Drumming is good. So everybody's facing a partner. So you've got your line of direction. This is very important. You're either going clockwise around the circle like this, or you're going counterclockwise like this. You're always going to go the same direction. Look over your partner's shoulder, and there's a pair of eyes looking at you. That is your next partner. Look over your partner's shoulder and wave to your next partner. It's a pair of eyes looking at you. Okay? All right. So we're just going to walk through it. The easiest way to learn it is just to walk through it. And so we'll just, this first one we're just going to call a practice.
You're a good teacher.
Thank you. I've been doing this almost 20 years. So.
You better be. She's a master.
All right, so we're all going to be facing the center, the beginning part. And this is the part where we make the halo of light around ourselves. And we do the Buddha-ya, Dharma-ya, Sangha-ya. And then all we're going to do is face our partner and repeat that exact same thing, and then we'll go from there. Then we do our angel wings, but we'll get to that. So facing the center, we're going to make a halo. Om Namo Amitabhaya reach out your hands. We call this angel wings. You actually touch hands with your partner. And this is a slow turn. You don't have to turn fast. You're just going to get all the way around as we sing Om Namo. And then Amitabha part is a spin by yourself in place. So let's try that one. Where am I? Should be on the other side of their partner. You should be, because that's called advancing or progressing.
I should be here.
So you should be on the other side. Let's go back to where we started. We're going to walk through this one more time. I told you the partner part is a little tricky. Go back to where you started. Remember, Ewelina, let's show them that turn one more time. You only turn once, you sing.
Half a turn.
It's really just trading places. She goes, Om Namo. Oh, very, very slow. And then you turn in place. Om Namo Amitabha. Everything's really, really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your steps are 1, 2, 3. And then I'll get to the last part. So let's start from the partner part. So facing your partner. Angel wings. Just trading places. Just trading places. Om Namo. Om Namo. Om Namo. You just trade. You just turn in place. You turn in place by yourself, or we call it a spin. So you trade with your partner, then you turn in place by yourself. Like we call it a spin. If for anybody that turning is uncomfortable, just stand in place. That's fine. Sometimes that's too much turning. And then we're going to be back here. We're all going to be back facing the center again. And this is the part where we're going to walk into the circle and bring that blessing of light onto ourselves. Om Namo. Om Namo. Om Namo. And we're back at the beginning. So you repeat the first part twice, and you repeat the second part twice. So let's try it. I think you're catching on pretty good. Everybody turn and look at their partner so they know what's happening. Uh-oh, we got a mix-up over here. Let's go back to original partners. It's easier sometimes.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, it's just easier sometimes.
Original. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, we got to face each other.
So this is invoking also
You face center and then you turn your face.
compassion for ourselves, and then increasing that compassion for others in the process of this. And part of that, when you're gazing into your partner's eyes, is seeing that divine beloved in the other person. And however you're comfortable with that, gazing with people, and sometimes it's looking at their forehead or looking at the sky or looking directly into each other's eyes. But it's that idea of you're seeing that beloved Buddha inside of each other. So making the halo of light. There's your line of direction. I think, Steve, he's your next partner. There you go. Here we go. So facing the center again, making our halo of light.
You got it.
Trading places. It's 10 after, so I don't know if everybody wants to stick to that, because I could do one more, but it's going to definitely take more than 5 minutes.
Okay,
Should we do one more?
I'm open to one more.
Everybody open?
Yeah, he's got us warmed up.
If anybody has to go, I'd say one more.
One more.
Sundance goes.
Thank you, everybody.
one more.
One more, little last.
Yeah, I rode with Jim.
This next one is,
Yeah, say the last one.
Evelina did a wonderful job explaining a little bit about Samuel Lewis. If you get a chance to read about him online, he was truly an incredible person, and we're way ahead of his time. Born in 1896, so he was doing all this, through some difficult time, And that's why he was so happy to meet the hippies, because they were totally open to what he was about. But anyway, he was a poet as well as all the other things, and this is from the first line of this song is from a poem that he wrote.
Okay, thank you.
Those who love, loving pour forth radiance. These are those sons and daughters of God. Those who love, loving pour forth radiance. These are the sons and daughters of God. In my lifetime, love in every heart. In my lifetime, peace on earth. So the first lines are from the poem, Those Who Love, if you want to repeat that.
Those who love,
Loving, pour forth radiance.
loving, pour forth radiance.
These are the sons and daughters of God.
Yes.
These are sons and daughters of God.
You are.
Those who love,
Those who love,
loving, pour forth radiance.
loving, pour forth radiance.
These are the sons and daughters of God.
These are the sons and daughters of God.
In my lifetime, love in every heart.
In my lifetime, love in every heart.
In my lifetime, peace, peace on earth.
In my lifetime, peace and peace on earth.
It's a prayer.
Okay.
Those who love, loving, pour forth radiance. These are the sons and daughters of God. Those who love, to demonstrate this with me? I modified it just a little bit, make it a little bit easier. So this dance is a little bit different because the first thing we're going to do is trade places, and that's unusual in the peace dances. So we're going to begin as we sing, those who love, loving pour forth radiance. And we're going to put hands on shoulders if that's comfortable for people. These are the sun. You don't know this one? I thought maybe you did.
Well,
Here, go on this side of me. Okay, we're going to go this way. These are the sons and daughters of God. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to have a new partner. So we're going to do the same thing with Deb again, just to demonstrate. So we're going to just trade places. Those who love, loving pour forth radiance. These are the sons and daughters of God. Now we're on the outside of the circle. We're just going to walk towards the center like we did the last time. In my lifetime. And then spinning out, if that's comfortable for people, or just walking out. Love in every heart. Hands back to heart. Repeat that same move. In my life. This time we're going to stay. Peace, peace on earth. And then you'll be turning and facing your new partner. I'm rushing this, so I know it might be a little tricky, but we'll just do it a few times at least. So let's get back in our circle. You might end up dancing because somebody left, unless two people left. I don't know. So you want me to? Well, we might need you to dance. So everybody turn and face a partner. And
Here we go.
Wait,
do you not have a partner?
I used to have a partner. Now I don't have a partner.
Everybody hold their partner's hand a minute. Everybody hold their partner's hand so I can just see.
One odd person out here.
okay.
So I guess I do need you to drum.
I'll go eat snacks.
No, you're gonna, no, excuse me, but she'll drum. You can dance with her.
Okay.
So, two people must have left, I guess. Okay, so let's just make a circle again so we're all kind of more even circularized. And then, okay, now turn and face your partner. It's the same idea. This is your line of direction. Look over your partner's shoulder. There's eyes looking at you. Wave to your next partner. Steve, she's your next partner right there. So, okay, everybody got this? All right. So, consider this just an introduction to this dance because we're going through it really fast. But it was such a pretty dance. I wanted to show.
We go trade places.
Yeah, we'll take our time. We're going to take our time. So, holding your partner's hands. When we sing Those Who Love, that's the part where you trade places, just like we did in the last dance. Hands come to heart. Those who love, loving, pour forth radiance. Then we'll get to the next part. Let's just do that part first. Those who love, hands to heart, loving, pour forth radiance. So let's go back now. A few people missed that part. So the very first part here, demonstrate with me, Mary. Is it Mary or Linda? Mary's close. The very first part, we're just going to do it right in the center. So everyone do it with us, holding hands with your partner. If you get mixed up, you can look at us. Those who love. So facing your partner. Loving, pour forth radiance. That's that whole line. So let's go back and do it one more time. Make sure we got this anchor again. So joining hands with your partner. And you get, as soon as you get around to the other side, it's time to do the radiating part. Those Loving pour forth radiance. Now you turn and everybody put their hand on their partner's shoulders. If you can't do that, just put it at their waist because some people have a hard time with shoulders. Everybody in the circle is going to
Everybody.
Yeah, I said that wrong. I said partner. Now we don't move till we get to the word sons, and then it's just a simple side step to the right. These are the sons and daughters of God. Let's try that again. These are the sons and daughters of God. Now, if you remember where you are, turn to your next partner.
I don't.
Okay? All right, Linda and I are going to continue in the middle so you should get next up. So here we go. Let me make sure I got the right key.
I'm barely emphatic. Pick it up.
Those who love, loving pour forth radiance. These are the sons and daughters of God. Perfect.
We got it.
So that would be the first part. Thank you. And now I'm going to join the circle just to all do this together. Everyone can see. So we're going to walk towards the center. In our lifetime, love in every heart.
Cutting every part.
In my lifetime, peace, peace on earth. And then you're going to turn to your next partner. And everybody know who the next partner is?
Do you think we need to
Be you.
step out?
A little bit. You're going to need to just step in a little bit just to have enough room. Okay? You want to go ahead and try it?
Yes. Let's do it.
You're catching on really good. All right, so joining hands with the next partner. Oh, next partner.
Thank you.
And I'll continue to call it out. So. Trading places. Now hands on shoulders. These are the sons and daughters of God. Next partner, joining hands. Trading places. Hands to heart. Loving for just in our hearts, let's send that energy to places in the world we know it is needed the most. And send that energy of healing out into the world.
God is good.
All the time. Amen.
Wonderful job.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
I should make a plug. If anybody wants to sign up, we have a dance once a month in Grand Rapids.
Where?
At the Holistic Care Approach, right off of East Beltline, between 4 and 5 Mile. It's a health center, you know, with massage therapists, acupuncturists, different people like that. But we meet there on the first Sunday at 2 o'clock, and then it follows with a potluck. And, you know, I send an email out to remind people, so that's why I said, if you're interested. I got some signatures the last time I was here, but this is a lot of different people than this time. So, if you're interested, you can put your email, and I'll send you an email to remind you, and I'll put the address in. So for those of you who can just put your phones in.
So where's your paper?
I will find it. It's right here.
Did you like?
So glad you enjoyed it. I was really blessed. I was just in Mexico for a whole week of what we call dance camp. We danced twice a day on the beach. Really blessed. That was really awesome. And I learned a lot of new dances. You can't imagine how many dances you do when you dance. Like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night.
That's
Dancing.
Shape.
I don't know what good shape here, but we're such a crazy group that what do we do in our downtime? Get together and sing. That's what we do. Let's sing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We might be just close.
Okay, that's a good idea. And then she had a good suggestion. Let me put this down over here. Is this a good spot? Right here. And then Ewelina said, let's close with 3 ohms. That's probably a very good idea. From the Hindu tradition.
All hands.
Why don't you lead them, Ewelina?
Okay, are we ready? Deep breath in. You guys are awesome.
Beautiful singing. Thank you, everybody. That was beautiful singing.
Thank you.
Well, actually, if you really want to do what Sufis do, Sufis always end with hugs.
So